This is the Al Halban district of Taiz, outside the enclave. Over 300 patients come here to the Mother and Child Hospital every day. MSF opened this facility in November 2015, as most of the city's public health structures are in the area under siege, and there is a lack of access to healthcare. Priority is given to the critically ill, pregnant women and children. Because of the airstrikes and the shelling, this mother waited until sunrise to bring her child to the hospital.
Yesterday she got a fever and started vomiting and coughing. And then at sunset she had a sort of spasm. We wanted to come to the hospital then, but there's a war out there. It was night. It's too dangerous. So we waited until daylight and then made the journey.
This young boy is having trouble breathing.
He probably has an acute chest infection. We'll give him the medication he needs and keep him under observation for 3 days. We'll also be running some laboratory tests.
Just a few kilometers away is the part of the city besieged by the rebels. After 5 months of intense negotiations, MSF teams have at last been able to enter the enclave and deliver essential medical supplies to Al Thawra Hospital, one of only 2 public hospitals still open. These facilities are in desperate need of more aid.
They do still have some stuff, but they don't have any more medicines, they don't have oxygens, and they have very limited power. While outside the population have no public hospital to go to, and considering the economic crisis that the war has brought with them, the people have no money to go to private hospital. So on both sides, the civilian populations are really in a critical condition.
MSF teams are due to return with more supplies in a few days. There used to be 20 hospitals for 600,000 inhabitants in Taiz. Just 4 continue to function, and even then, only partially. A heap of rubble is all that's left of this hospital in Idlib province. Rescue teams are sifting through the debris in the hope of finding survivors.
There were 4 airstrikes on the hospital yesterday, Monday. The first 2 strikes destroyed the building, and then the other 2 targeted the people who had come to help. 9 of our medical staff were killed.
Hospitals are increasingly targeted. Since January 2015, 66 MSF-supported medical facilities in Syria have been bombed or shelled on 101 separate occasions. It's now become almost impossible to provide medical aid to either the wounded or the sick.
De plus en plus de médecins et d'infirmiers quittent la Syrie, et enfin les patients maintenant ont peur d'aller dans les hôpitaux qui sont en fait bombardés.
According to the United Nations, 20,000 people trying to escape from the offensive launched against the rebels in Aleppo by the regime and its Russian ally are still trapped on the Syrian side of the Turkish border. In the middle of the desert, tents as far as the eye can see. Iner has been living here for 9 months. This young Fula mother gave birth to her second child here in the camp. She's come for a postnatal checkup. It's hard for her to feed her family. Rice and oil are all she gets from the international community.
The main problem for the children is the lack of milk. As I don't have any money, I have to sell some of the rice from the distribution to buy some milk.
Food is in increasingly short supply due to the financial difficulties encountered by the World Food Programme since 2015.
La conséquence a été la réduction des rations alimentaires distribuées aux réfugiés. D'après le représentant du PAM en Mauritanie, à partir du mois de mars, la situation va être très critique et il est très inquiet par rapport à leur capacité à même assurer une distribution partielle au niveau du camp de Mbira.
A shortage of food that could well result in an increase in malnutrition among children and pregnant women.